please visit us at whichmba.net.
Normally, we found that those art people have more creativity. But in most MBA classes, there are more science background students than the art background students. So how to inspire their creativity, which take use of right sign brand of those quants. So how to encourage them to find the creativity out.
What's interesting is when we think about creativity, you're right, we often think of the artist or the dancer or things like that. But I would argue that creativity can also be found in engineering and in science. I think the trick is to make them aware that there's creativity inherent in those disciplines as well. And that often the tools to be an artist and create a beautiful painting are very similar to the tools that you would use as an engineer to create a bridge or a structure that solves a problem and is beautiful in its own way. Part of it is awakening people to the fact that they are creative, to your point, and helping them see how they can be creative in whatever job they want to do. Because not all of us want to draw or to paint, but we do all want to be creative in our own way. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. So you probably have some ways to help people to find the creativity back.
Absolutely.
So what are those?
That's the whole course.
Okay.
But I can give you some examples, sure. One thing that has often been tied to creativity, interestingly, is an ability to see the world around you, to observe. And so if I give you a quick example, there was a very famous restaurant in Spain called El Bulli, one of the world's most famous restaurants for a number of years, one of the first restaurants to do gastronomic cooking. And they would close the restaurant for 6 months of the year.
Okay.
And what they would do,
open it for half a year.
Only open it for half a year, because that other 6 months they would travel, the chefs would travel around the world to observe other cultures, to watch other chefs, to watch people cook in different ways, to try to collect bits and pieces, what you referred to before, of information and ideas. Then they would come back to the restaurant and they would build and create. But it was the observation, exposing themselves to different things that gave them the inspiration and the ability to truly come up with something new. So one of the real keys of creativity is being aware of the world around you, observing, seeing the small things that everybody else misses.
Okay, this is the one way. And we have the others?
That's one tool that you can add to the toolbox to help you be more creative. A second one, if you want me to keep telling you them, would be the ability to experiment and fail.
Okay.
What's interesting is when we're little and as we grow up and work in a company, we're told never to fail. Failing is bad. But for creativity, failing is actually good. The ability to experiment and try things, fail, learn, that's a big part of creativity, and accepting the fact that failure is actually good.
So 99 times failure to lead to 1 time success.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And when you look at some of the most famous entrepreneurs, the world has seen, right? Most of them can point to failures or things they tried that didn't work out. Everything from a Li Ka-shing to a Steve Jobs. Right? These are very famous people that have built empires and can largely be looked at as being true innovators or, I would argue, creative people in their own way.